All right, you can see the cleaned off fan blade here and the new water pump right here. Now we're going to switch to cleaning out the block, which is in the service manual, something you're supposed to do twice a year, I think. But I haven't done it since I bought the tractor, so we're going to see just how nasty it is inside. The first step I'm going to do is take the thermostat off. You take off this housing, pull the thermostat out, put the housing back on so that it will still circulate water. Then we'll pull the tractor out of the barn and start filtering some water through it. Here's my thermostat. That looks junky. I'm going to have to replace that thing. It's not that old either. Oh well. Okay, so I suspect that there is a head gasket leak, and one of the telltale signs of a head gasket leak is bubbles coming out of the radiator. I filled the thing up with water, and what I want to do first is run it until it's completely full of water all the way through the engine, and then see if bubbles come out the top of the radiator, just to see if there's something happening where it's escaping. There should come a point where it fills up the whole engine and then won't drain out again except out of this hole, because I don't have anything else opened yet. So let's check it out. Alright, I feel like that test is inconclusive. Maybe it's obvious, but as I'm starting it up, it's jumping a lot because the pump is starting to move, I think. And then once it gets running, you can see turbidity in there, but it's hard to tell. So what I'm going to do is continue with the instructions that I was given on yesterday's tractor forums from a man named Byrne on how to do the clean out. First step is drain the block. So I'm going to take the petcocks, the screw holes, off the radiator and then off the side of the engine. I'm going to show you right where they are. Here's where the petcock is, the drain plug on the side of mine. Over here in between the oil filter and the starter. You can see it right back in there. It's kind of hard to see, but oh boy. Oh, this aftermarket generator's on and I can't take the drain plug out while it's in there? That's frustrating. I have loosened the starter and gotten it out of the way a little bit, so I'm gonna go ahead and take that petcock off. Let's see. Of course, you do this while the engine is cold. Here's the block drain on the right side of my engine. You can see it's right in front of the starter and right next to my oil filter, right underneath the carburetor. Unfortunately, even if I loosen it out, it's not draining anything. And when I get my wrench back in there, which of course is hard to do, the brass just gives, it's not coming out. So I think what I'm going to do is destroy that thing and replace it with some brass fittings that will work. So what I'm going to do is try to continue with the block cleaning. What I'm going to do is run a hose in there, have it running out the top. It's going to gush out this side, and then I'm going to start the tractor and get it running while that's going on. I was successful. I broke the little thumb tabs off the front of that and then got a socket on there and was able to get it off. Here's what this stuff looked like that came out. It was surprisingly bad. Considering I flushed the whole rest of the engine, it was worth it to get this part out too. Great. Got the starter moved out of the way so that I can get back into this with a 9/16 wrench. One of the things I learned through this is how this valve is actually supposed to work. When you want it to keep the liquid in the engine, this part on the outside has to be all the way out. I didn't realize that. Obviously on this tractor it had been clogged up pretty much ever since I owned it. And you're supposed to do this flush and fill twice a year apparently, according to the owner's manual. I put Teflon tape on the inside of it just to help it not seize. We'll see if that helps. Of course, they'll probably just heat up with the tractor and go away anyway. Alright, that's good and tight. Now let's get the starter back in place. That's not good. That valve cannot operate correctly with the starter in place. I'm going to need to take that out and replace it. I couldn't come up with a solution where I had a valve that still worked in front of that starter. The aftermarket starter is significantly bigger than the original, so I just went ahead and capped it. I couldn't think of any reason to have a valve on there where I couldn't just undo it with a cap. The 1/4 inch FIP brass cap from a plumbing hardware store is able to be removed with a 9/16 wrench, so this seems to work.